My dear Healy World members, today I talk about a very interesting Healy program group called Bioenergetic Rebalance Plus. The Bioenergetic Rebalance program group, consisting of 3 programs, has already been launched with a power of 3 addition some months ago. But this special group with another added program makes the Rebalance Plus group has been undertaken a randomized control trial in the last 2 months, and there are amazing results. And I want to talk about this today, but I want to also talk about the story behind this program, because these Healy programs don't come up just like, oh, we need a new program, can you create something like this? No. But they emerge from a deeper level. I already had the intuition to develop such a program group almost 2 years ago, when it was very clear and I could clearly sense that there's a lot of stress on the bioenergetic system and on the psyche of the people by all these developments in the external world and how people react on it psychologically. So, but I worked on it and I tried different things, but it never came to the point that I really put it into a clear, dedicated Healy program group until one special day. I remember it was Thursday and the weather was quite nice. I was at the lake here close to the castle when a friend called me that 2 of our friends, our common friends, one professor who is also a health politician and his wife who is a physician, visited him, and we thought about surprising them by me taking my boat and picking them up at a place where they really didn't expect it. So the surprise really worked out, and it was a very nice meeting friends. So we were going out with a boat, and suddenly from almost nothing, the weather changed and the clouds came, it started to rain, and a big storm started with thundering and with lightning. So we had to go with a boat to a safe corner of the lake and stop there and close the boat so that we can be protected from the weather. But it became so stormy and so loud that we couldn't even continue our conversation anymore. So we had to relocate to inside the boat. There was a nice table we could sit around and continue our discussion. So this professor, who has done amazing research and work, he explained me his model, his theory of different levels of complex milieus in which we as a human being are embedded, starting with the microbiological level, going up through the physical to the psychosomatic level. But there is also a social milieu in which we are embedded with our friends and families, and there is a cultural milieu, and it's going up. So there are different milieus. So everything has to be seen in its complexity. So if a problem is coming up, it cannot be treated isolated, but one always has to see the whole human being with all its dimension and how it's actually embedded in a greater milieu. So he was talking about 3 kinds of immune systems. Like we have our physiological, or you can say psychosomatic immune system, but the social immune system is also very, very important. How we are embedded in our relationships, in our family and society. But there's also something which you can call a cultural immune system, which also gives us a strong support whenever there are external challenges. And all this has been under challenge that time when we went out with the boat. I think it was in the very early summer of the last year. So in this conversation, it became suddenly serious, and the professor addressed me and said, Markus, if you could develop a program with frequencies, with the Healy, based on information field analysis. He knew about my work, which addresses this issue, which helps the people to rebalance under all the stressful events and disturbances of the milieus of different levels in this situation. This would be such an important service to humanity. And I was so much impressed by these words of a friend, of a professor, of a person who is engaging on different levels of politics and academics. And I took it as something which is really an important purpose I have to fulfill. So this was an early summer. So I think it was already 3 weeks later when I have gathered a small group of international scientists. It was a physicist from China. It was a Italian researcher with connection to traditional Chinese medicine, also to Western medicine, and a small group of international researchers. And we were sitting together for a week discussing different things, but we came to this point to how to understand all these influences and the stressful influences at that time, and how to develop on the bioenergetic level frequency programs which could strengthen this bioenergetic stress resilience of the people in general. So the result of this week were the 3 programs, and in the end we designed a 4th program already that time, which was very specific. We found new frequencies. I remember if you look at the 3 programs of the bioenergetic rebalance, there is a conflict balance program, there is a defense support program, and there's a friendly flora program. And it's very interesting because we found, based on EEG research, certain frequencies which help to bring the bioenergetic system in a friendly mood, in a friendly relationship. So that's very important, that we have a friendly relationship to the milieus on the different levels, and the milieu has a friendly relationship to us. So we call the 3rd program Friendly Flora. So we designed the program in such a way, and we launched it together with the power of 3 programs. But recently we have done a study, a very well-powered study with almost 600 participants in 2 groups. One is a control group, and the other group used systematically the Bioenergetic Rebalance Plus program. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then additionally the Plus program. So it wasn't a very frequent application, but only 4 times or 6 times a week altogether. The control group in this study was very special. It was not a group like we have done in previous studies, which did nothing specific in terms of applications of therapies in these weeks, but they continued to use the Healy as before. But now, being in the study, of course, focusing on their well-being, on their stress, on being burdened of symptoms. So the control group using Healy with this purpose, of course, is a very strong competitor. It's like if you want to make a competition in running, and you run against a control group which has a very powerful running system already. Anyway, that's the situation, and I would like to now present you the results of this study. In this slide, you see the results of the Bioenergetic Rebalance Plus study, where the people use the 3 programs of the rebalance plus the additional one for 2 weeks. It's a very well-powered study with almost 600 participants and 2 groups. One is a control group who used the Healy as usual, and the other applied this new group of 3 programs, and we see here the differences with the blue and the violet bar. Blue is the bioenergetic rebalance programs, and the violet is the usual Healy programs, which is the control group here. We look at 3 different categories: an increase in the well-being score. This is the international standardized WHO-5 wellness survey. The second is a decrease in stress level, and the third is a decrease in symptom burden, which is derived from the MIMOP questionnaire. So the results are very clear. We have good results for the Healy group, but the blue bars in each category are higher, and in the well-being and in the stress category, highly significant. It's an amazing result which surprised us a lot, because it's not easy to run against Healy, and the rebalance program did it. So, but there is something even more surprising which we didn't expect, because in the first survey that people were asked for if they experienced any bioenergetic stress events. This is what the study was for, either emotional, or it could have been a small accident or something, or could have also been a vaccination. So if the people were vaccinated within the last 12 months, they were reporting it here. So we could look at how the vaccinated towards the non-vaccinated group of participants performed, and here is the results. Down here in the graph, we see the first group. This is all participants displaying the Cohen's d effect size parameter, whereas the second is the vaccinated participants, and the third row is the non-vaccinated participants. And surprisingly, the effect for the vaccinated people was little more than double size than the not vaccinated. You can draw the conclusion from this that concerning the well-being and concerning the stress situation, the vaccinated people are even benefiting more from using the Bioenergetic Rebalance Plus programs than the non-vaccinated one. Amazing result, but now I want to show you another view on the same data, because in the first slide you saw the rebalance group against Healy. In this slide you see the absolute change within the 14 days of the study of the bioenergetic rebalance group only, and this is the absolute change which the people really experience. So there we have a baseline. The blue one here is the well-being or the stress level or the symptom burden level in the beginning of the study, and after 2 weeks here you see the violet bar, and there is a very substantial increase in the well-being score, very substantial decrease in the stress level and also in the symptom burden. And down here you see the effect size pre-post in Cohen's d parameter, and all the effects which are visible here of all the participants, of the vaccinated, the non-vaccinated peoples, are in the large or in the very large category. Everything above 1 is very large, which we see here in the decrease of symptom burden with 1.23 or even 1.3. That's extremely good results. So this is, I'm always so happy to present especially these positive results of studies. We have done within the last 12 months already 8 of these kinds of studies, most randomized controlled trials, some of them published in peer-reviewed papers, others already submitted, and in the moment we are preparing 4 new studies simultaneously, so we will keep informing you about the results of the studies. We are living presently in very challenging times. There are stressful events on all the different levels right now. We are challenged on the level of the noosphere, of the cultural level, our values, our ethical standpoint. Everything is challenged every single day, going down to the physical level and the microbiological level. On all these levels we experience a stressful events. So therefore I believe that this bioenergetic rebalance programs of Healy are a very valuable support for everyone right now with the help of the frequencies, because I believe frequencies are entangling with all these different levels. Therefore, use your Healy daily, stay happy and stay healthy.